Ryan ran to the house and looked in the window. He saw an elderly woman trying to put out a fire. Instead of putting it out, she caught fire.
My wife and myself and my daughter were coming home on it was kind of a winter night where it was dark out, but it was only probably about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. We all got out of my truck and I heard sound like a residential fire alarm, just beep, beep, beep. So I started investigating and I started walking up to the house. Well, it was actually a trailer. I could see from the window that I saw a glow, the glow of a fire. And I went, oh no. So I called I used my cell phone and I called my daughter to talk to my wife. Actually, my daughter did a very good job on getting my wife's attention and saying, Mom, there's a fire. Daddy says to call 911. Miss Archer's house is on fire. And I looked inside and I didn't know what I was going to see. I saw a lot of smoke and then I saw her. She was walking around and I could tell she was delirious. But there was a stream of fire along the carpet from the living room, and then it turned up and then into what would be a dining room. And I just saw her kind of deliriously walking around trying to put out the fire with her bare feet. And I immediately started beating on the window saying, Verna, come over here. She got to the window, but she was pretty delirious at that point in time, and I was like, it's Ryan, unlock the door, and she wouldn't. So I started beating more because she kept strolling back to the fire, and she tried unlocking the door, but you could hear her she'd walk over there and just kind of fumble the latch, just kind of fumble the deadbolt and kind of but nothing, she wasn't turning anything. Then she'd come back to the window and I was trying to make sure that she realized it was me, and I had a flashlight, and then I was shining it like this, but I thought to myself, okay, I could be scaring her to death, with the flashlight. But when I realized I got to get in there, it's actually when I saw her foot catch fire, and she stepped onto the fire on the carpet, and I actually saw the fire go, it like engulfed her foot, and then she kind of got it out, and that's when I ran to the other side, the other window, and I could hear the fire alarm plain as day. So I thought, we got a window open somewhere. So I ran around to the side and I looked through the window, but it was only open about this much and she had it barred shut. So I tried, jimmy in that, but didn't work. Then I knew of her back door, so I ran to her back door, and luckily it was completely unlocked where I didn't have to bust a whole door down, and it was only locked by one of those chains. And I thought, okay, this is not a problem. I got busted through there, and I just, one deep breath, and I just knew just at that point in time that it's now or never, or she's going to die soon. And I got in there, and she was still she was about to fall over. I got a hold of her, and I just took her immediately straight out the front door. I unlocked it and got her out the front door. At that point in time, I saw my wife and my daughter walking up, and I said, Tracy, here's Verna. Her foot is completely burned up, and we got her a chair. During all of this, I did notice where the fire was. It was a stream of fire about yay wide, and it went like this, turned into the dining room, and kind of led into the kitchen. And at that point in time, I just looked around outside. I knew that if nothing else happened, this lady's also going to lose her home. It's going to be gone. And I knew that whether it was smart or not, I don't know, but I look back and would I have done it again? Yes, but I grabbed some scrap carpets that I found on her deck there, and I went in and I was able to put the fire out, going all the way around to the kitchen, and that's when the fire department came, and her foot is permanently damaged from the fire. We have another neighbor that lived not too far from there, and he checked in on her no more than 2 weeks prior, and he noticed that she didn't have any smoke detectors, and he said, we got to put in some smoke detectors for you, and he actually installed those. If that wouldn't have happened, this whole sequence of events wouldn't have happened. She might not be here today. Very nerve-wracking for me. It's not something, I know a lot of firefighters and stuff, and like I explained to some of those guys, I said, you guys might be used to this. After I started calming down, I said, this isn't my everyday normal thing, so that I really didn't have time to think. I've had a lot of people ask me why I went in there, and then they've even told me, well, I wouldn't have done that. And I said, to me, there was no other choice. It was a human life is about to die a terrible fiery death and I was involved. I was there. I saw it, and I could do something about it, and I did. And everything just went so fast that I don't know. I kind of went on autopilot. She would be dead right now, and I wouldn't have been able to live with myself.